welcome into the Clinch Valley CrossFit podcast. I'm here with Dave, owner-operator. If you are watching this podcast, watching this video, you've probably seen our commercial, intro video. Super excited, made the announcement. Everything is official. We are officially Clinch Valley CrossFit, coming to historic downtown Clinton very, very soon. How excited are you?
Oh my gosh, man. It's ridiculous right now. Just can't thank everybody enough for, first of all, obviously we like seeing the views, but like the engagement around it and like seeing people get excited about something coming to Clinton just gets me pumped, man.
The reposts and the shares and the attention around that first post we made announcing that we are coming in March to downtown Clinton has just been phenomenal. More than we could have ever expected. Obviously, that was our hope. One of the big reasons that we picked the downtown Clinton area is that we had a feeling that this was a desirable business to bring down to downtown Clinton and bring more livelihood and more business into that area. But the response has been absolutely phenomenal. Can't say it enough.
Yeah, for sure. And just again, makes us even more excited to bring it to the community and bring more content, which is what we're working really hard to do right now, is develop as much value in between now and that March 2nd date, open date to give everyone to be able to use. So.
Awesome. I love it. So what we are going to do today, we're going to dive in a little bit more in depth today. We've got a couple of topics we're going to cover, bring some more in depth to the content that we brought within the commercial, talk a little bit more about what we're doing. I've got a couple of questions for you. I think you've got some questions for me. We're going to go for about 25 minutes here, but I want to start this thing off. Let's go 90 seconds. Let's talk a little bit more about David Smith. 90 seconds. Tell me business and life, how you got to right here where we are today, about to open this CrossFit affiliate.
Absolutely. I've worked the last almost 18 years in retail and worked for an aftermarket automotive parts supplier. And again, great company that I worked for, like a long time with them, gained a lot of business experience from operational standpoint, from a management standpoint. And obviously that's what I'm carrying with me to this. But the passion for CrossFit really, for me, started about 6 years ago, and finding CrossFit, seeing what it does for the community, and just developed a big passion for it. So, I'm just in this to provide, obviously, for my family as a job for sure is a big deal. But there's a big draw for me in the purpose of bringing this to this community, and just the awareness around nutrition that we're going to bring, and then an option for people as far as, on the fitness side of things, to be able to bring that locally and really, knowing that it helps change people's lives. It's an easy thing to get out and get involved in for me.
Awesome. And one thing I do want to mention that you didn't, we get a lot of questions about our videos and our content and how we get this stuff. And something you're never going to take credit for, but any production value, content, stuff like that, I just want to say David is absolutely the man when it comes to producing anything, what we're doing right now, any videos, commercials, anything that we've been doing. You are producing all of that. We're kind of bootstrapping that whole deal, and the value, the quality is just astronomical, and you're super talented in that, man, and that's a huge asset to our company and to our community to be able to see what we're doing and at such a high quality. It's cool. Really awesome.
Well, thank you. And most of that credit goes to Lisa Harrison Smith, because she taught me how to do everything that I'm doing. But
absolutely.
But yeah, in between that and what Lisa does for us from a photography standpoint, it's pretty cool to have access to the media. So we're definitely blessed with that.
Love it.
All right, man. So enough about me. Like, your start in CrossFit, how did things get really moving for you?
Awesome. Yeah. So got out of athletics after school, after college, went to college to play soccer. After that, transitioned to working full time, got out of the gym, got out of, working out and things like that, and gained a substantial amount of weight. Was not eating well, was not taking care of myself. Actually stumbled across the CrossFit Games on ESPN and saw some guys out there doing some pretty crazy stuff, and thought, man, that'd be neat. That'd be something I could get into. That'd be a lot of fun to get out and get into that. And so I started researching it, kind of doing it on my own at a local gym, and then a CrossFit box opened up close by to where I worked. Joined up there, and it's kind of where I marked kind of my official start of CrossFit, is when I joined up there, and kind of been in it ever since. Got my L1 in 2014. started coaching shortly after, and been doing that for a couple of years now, coaching at a local box, and just absolutely love what CrossFit's done in my life as far as the weight loss and the health and nutritional awareness and things like that. But just wanted to bring that to as many people as possible. And what kind of started out as a hobby really became just a passion that I'm super passionate about. Obviously now, with opening up our own box, this is a dream come true. And when I first started, I never dreamed that this would be a reality, but this is where it has led to, and something that I'm, want it to be a lifelong career at this point of bringing as much nutritional awareness and health and fitness to as many people as we possibly can.
Yeah, it's awesome. And there will definitely be, and I've got to convince Tristan of this first, but there's definitely going to be some more on his journey. I think it's just awesome, man. Like to see obviously where you're at now, and like the commitment that when you made your mind up, man, it's literally changed your life up to this point. I think it's just a story that everybody needs to hear. Yeah. But great. I'd like to get into what's new, like what's going on. A couple big releases, obviously, for Clinch Valley CrossFit, but get everybody up to date that may just be tuning in. What's going on in this world today?
Yeah, so we've made the announcement. We are official, fully licensed CrossFit affiliate. We got our name and our affiliation approved, and all the back inner workings that make that happen. Very, very detailed process. It's not an overnight thing. So we've been working on this for several months. In the release of the announcement, so to speak, that we are coming, we talked a lot about what the future is going to hold and kind of dates and all that. And also the big thing that we're working on right now, since we're kind of in a holding pattern with our build out until we get to occupy the space, February 1st. Right now, we're working very, very diligently to produce just a lot of content, including workout videos, nutritional videos, this podcast, really just trying to bring a lot of value and a lot of content to the community, because we know that right now is a big month in fitness. A lot of people doing those New Year's resolutions, and we spoke about it. It's important to us to go ahead, even though our space isn't open and we're not bringing in revenue or signing up members or doing anything right there. Like, we have a passion for bringing fitness and nutritional awareness to the community, so we're working really, really hard on that right now, trying to do workouts that you guys can do in the home without a lot of equipment or any equipment, a lot of body weight movements, a lot of just get up and move kind of stuff, just to get you moving and get you kind of moving that needle towards those fitness goals. We've shot several videos. We're kind of a release pattern. We're going to go 3 days a week on the workout videos. Those workout videos, speaking a little more in detail on those, we're kind of limited with social media. You can only do a 1-minute video on Instagram. And we want to be able to tie the Instagram and the Facebook together so that you get similar or the same content on both whichever platform you prefer.
Right.
So in order to get those movement videos into that 1 minute, we're having to use captions to kind of talk to the piece, and then we're also linking in some more detailed information. If you've seen our first movement video or workout video that we did, we linked in more instructional pieces on how to do those movements correctly, and we're kind of having to do that via links, just so that we can get all the content in within that 1 minute window. So really read into those captions, read into those links that we're posting up. And big thing is, if you've got questions, let us know. If you need more details or need to know what a movement is, or a different substitution for a movement because you have an injury or some limiting factor, please feel free to reach out to us. And also post those times and rep schemes and things and scaling options you did into the comments, and we'll definitely respond back. Love hearing different ways people adapt workouts. You may give another person an idea. Hey, I have never thought of that. I never thought of using that as an adaptation for this workout, and that worked out well. Just interact with us on that, and it's just going to bring more value to the content and make everybody kind of all rise together with that.
That's cool. Tristan's done a great job with these videos so far, and We've already got, several workouts already built out. But I'll say this, give us your feedback, because anything that you see, either through direct message or just get in the comments, below those workouts, and just let us know. We want to try to make those where in the short term between now and March, that March 2nd opening, like how can we get people, headed in that right direction and get started? If you've already started too, congratulations, whether that's with us or somebody else with some of the other workouts. I mean, getting moving is the big thing. So we want to change these things to what gets the most people moving right now. And,
Sure.
and man, I'm excited about them, but they will, kind of mature into, what's best fits the audience. And we want that feedback for sure.
Sure. And also, the workout that we're trying to release, we want to release a workout that is the released version is going to work for the majority, but there's always a scale up and a scale down for anything, right? So if we release a workout and you're a conditioned athlete, been doing CrossFit for 6 months to a year, and you look at a workout and you're like, that's really not what I'm looking for stimulus wise. I'd like to go a little bit longer today. If we put out a 10-minute AMRAP and you want to turn it into a 15, perfectly acceptable. Hit us in the comments and let us know that you did that. That's super exciting to us to see people adapting and changing things and kind of taking that base model and scale it up or scale it down. Also, find a way, be it in the comments or if you just take a notebook and write things down, write down the rep schemes and the scores and the scaling adaptations that you used. We're gonna repeat some of these workouts and offer you up the option to try to see how we're improving and see how that fitness is getting better. So definitely keep track of what you've done and look forward to repeating it later and seeing if we've improved.
Absolutely. So like tracking that info, and I think that's something interesting to dive in with some of these pieces. Like, why would we want to track those things? I mean, that's a big part of what CrossFit is that we measure so many things, right? We'll use technology in the future with when we get the box opened up, but for now, like just having those, recording them helps you actually, really benchmark yourself into like how big of an improvement am I making and how those things are. I mean, just from that portion. But you talked about something else I wanted to bring up, the scaling options. So if you see in the first workout that dropped, late last night or early this morning, you actually showed them, even in just a minute, a couple of scaling options. And, that's one really cool thing about CrossFit, I think, is that, it is infinitely scalable for any experience or conditioning level. I think it'd be neat to talk about just, how scaling works for different types of athletes. And I know that's a big umbrella to cover, but
Sure.
Any thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're shooting for on any workout that we program is a stimulus, all right? There's a time domain, a stimulus being like a feeling that we want to get out of this workout, a time domain that we want to be within in this workout, or a certain number of repetitions, rounds and reps that we want to complete in that workout. We want everybody to kind of get the same feeling at the end of the workout, the same level of soreness after the workout is over, the same level, the same stimulus, basically, is what I'm getting at. So with that being said, when we scale and adapt a workout, what we're trying to do is get everybody into that same stimulus. So when we say the fittest of the fit, or the as prescribed, the RX athlete, you hear that term a lot in CrossFit. How are they going to feel when they do this workout as it's written? How long will this workout take them? Or how many repetitions would they be able to complete within this time domain? And then we want to adapt the movements as close to full range of motion as possible. Obviously, technique, feeding form, and function, and then intensity after technique. How can we get the deconditioned athlete or the new beginner to get a similar number of repetitions or complete that work in a similar time domain? Do we need to take the loading down? Do we need to adapt the movement? Do we need to elevate your push-ups? Go to our knees on our push-ups, as close to that full range of motion as possible, but still completable. And you're going to leave out of that workout feeling the same as the highly conditioned athlete did with the adaptation that they used.
That's cool. So we'll just take, today's workout, for instance, was air squats and push-ups.
Yep.
So like just taking one movement, and we'll take it all the way to the granular level. Let's talk about an air squat, which is, for the more experienced athlete, that's going to be hips below your knees, below parallel, right? Hips below your knees in a squatting position. I think that's neat. How does that scale out for someone that's very, very brand new? Like, what you showed some options there, but let's just break that movement down. How would that work in different scaling options, all the way maybe to somebody that just really lacks the mobility to even get into a decent squat?
Sure, absolutely. So there's several adaptations there. Can we squat below parallel pain-free? Can we squat below parallel correctly, maintaining points of performance, balance in the foot, knees tracking over the toes, hip crease below the knee, neutral lumbar? We're not an immature squat. We're not losing our lumbar support or diving forward on the squat, out on our toes. A lot of different things we're looking for there. If we're able to squat well below parallel, that's when we do a large number of air squats. But if we're not there yet, we can use one adaptation that we gave in the video was to find a chair or a bench or something that you can squat well to and squat to that level for the workout for today. All right. And then as you grow and advance as an athlete, we're going to keep lowering and lowering and lowering that squat as we continue to increase range of motion, mobility, flexibility, those type of things that get us to that bottom position in a squat. And then and only then would we ever add any kind of loading to that squat or advance even further with the air squat. Same with the push-ups. Push-ups, a little less risk of injury there with the push-ups. You can kind of just do what you can do on a push-up. But if the volume of push-ups to do 10 push-ups per round for 10 minutes from the ground is going to be something that's going to really limit you and take up a lot of time, we can move you to your knees or bring you up to an elevated surface and kind of take some of the loading off of that push-up to get you more rounds and reps and get you more repetitions at a place that's uncomfortable but manageable.
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually looking earlier today, and I think it was, the timing was unique of us doing that yesterday and thinking about all the scaling options. And, CrossFit.com, they also have a YouTube channel. They posted a video that was literally called Standing Up, right? I believe was the name of it, Standing Up. And it shows just that functional movement, which is an air squat, which is can I squat to a certain depth or level? And that's your baseline, and then you work from that point. But it was showing it at the most functional state that it can be, which is literally just standing up, sitting down. So
which I think, and not a knock on CrossFit at all. Obviously, I'm super adamant about CrossFit and believe in the methodology, but I think something that got lost in CrossFit when the games came along and we started seeing all these superheroes flying around and doing all these crazy movements and moving all these large loads and being able to do things so quickly and so efficiently, is we lost kind of sight of what CrossFit really was. And if you look at the 15,000 affiliates worldwide, that what we see on TV is 1% of 1% of that. It's a very, very small factor of what CrossFit actually is. And if you look inside the box, CrossFit is actually predominantly made up of people that work full-time jobs, of people that are deconditioned, or people that are trying to get closer to that, health and wellness fitness continuum that we speak about. That's the bulk of CrossFit. We're just regular people. We're just average people trying to get a little better. And if you walk into a CrossFit box, or if you've ever been in a CrossFit box, you know that 1% of 1% is not CrossFit. That's the CrossFit Games. It's a completely separate thing. And you see CrossFit really, really, with this new restructuring of the games, really trying to make a bold separation between the CrossFit Games and what CrossFit inside the box, and what we're trying to do with our affiliate, which is bring functional fitness and nutritional awareness to the community. Because the other video they posted was what, bacon and eggs?
Yep.
Yeah, like a very healthy breakfast. So that nutritional awareness and that functional movement awareness of, does my grandmother need to back squat 400 pounds? No. Does she need a squat? Absolutely. Yep. And that's that adaptation. And that's where kind of the lines got blurred, and I think CrossFit's trying to shift that needle back to showing what CrossFit started, what the grassroots movement was all about, and what the true CrossFit purpose is, and what it's always done and has continued to do. But I think the vision just got skewed a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's neat, and that's the big message, is that the scaling, if, again, in this one movement that you broke down in the air squat, is if you only have a few degrees of flexibility in a hip or a knee or whatever that might be, that is your starting point and baseline, and that's where it is infinitely scalable. If you can only squat a couple of inches from your current spot versus, all the way down into a full below parallel squat, that is where you start at. And that's what I think is so cool about it. As that question keeps coming up, is CrossFit for me? Can I do it? Am I fit enough or whatever? It truly can be scaled for anyone. And I just think it's a neat thing that we'll continue to talk about, because I think that's an important part of it, to realize, great point on yours with the games and things, that's the vision of CrossFit, but that is just a small, minute portion of the actual community and the realistically what happens inside the gym, which we'll talk about in later episodes.
Absolutely. And for me, from a personal level, I love the CrossFit. I think the CrossFit games are so
fun.
neat. They're awesome. And you and I have stood in person and watched Rich Froning do a workout at his own gym, 15, 12, 9 of bar muscle ups and 48-inch box jump overs, rest 5 minutes, do it again. Crazy amount of work capacity and gymnastics capability. And we watch that, and it's awe-inspiring, and it's like, neato, that's cool. But seeing one of my athletes get their first pull-up, or the first time they ever can dead hang from a bar unsupported or unassisted, like that is exciting. That is what drives us to do what we do and inspires us to be coaches and inspires us to want to bring this to the community. Yeah, like the superheroes are really neat to watch and it's really fun and cool, but like the exciting stuff, the life-changing stuff, is seeing the average Joes or the deconditioned or the never done anything like this before come in and learn that they can hang from a bar, or that they can do a push-up, or that they can do an air squat to depth, and move from not being able to do that to being able to do that, or lose that exponential amount of weight, or anything, that body composition, get that nutritional awareness. One of my athletes that I've coached for over 2 years now made a post just the other day on social media kind of about their 2-year journey, and how they found CrossFit, and how 2 years their life has changed immensely, from coming into the box every day, just being committed, and how much they've grown and improved, and their life has changed. Astronomical amount of weight loss, which is great, but the strength and conditioning and the fitness level, and just the physical and mental, you can grow so much mentally with just learning what you're capable of and improving on that. That's why we do what we do. I truly believe that. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. And I'll say that in the Metro Knoxville area, there's several CrossFit gyms, and I would say walk into any of those, and what you're going to see is a very diverse community. And I say diverse in where you're at, or where they're at in the physical journey. So, let that, kind of sink in, and no, we were talking the other day about things that, 90+% of the stuff that we fear never comes true.
Right.
It's very true with CrossFit, because once you get in, you see and feel the community part, and you realize that it's okay to be where you're at. And that's what this scaling and is what's so, really, really cool about, CrossFit in general, I think.
And one of the best things I've ever heard, and I think Rory McKernan from CrossFit said it, was that CrossFit is kind of self-selecting, and that community that's gonna uplift people and cheer for that person that's the last person finishing the workout. The last person finishing the workout every day gets more cheers than the hero that finished it before everybody else. They don't hear a word. Hey, good job, man, and a fist bump, right? But that last person's probably got 15 or 20 people cheering them on to get them through them last few reps, and that's just something that comes with the community, is that we all have a similar goal. No matter where we are in our fitness journey, we're all trying to get a little better each day. And I think that community aspect, you can do these workouts anywhere you want to do them. We're giving them away for free, right? It's really not about the workout itself. It's more about the workout within the community, and with that coaching that you're improving every day, that someone's watching you, got an eye on you, and is looking to try to make improvements on your movement patterns or your nutritional awareness or anything as you come in every day. There is a goal. Every day when I come in, I know what my goal is, and it's to get 1% better and move that needle 1% towards that far-reaching goal, whatever that may be to qualify for the games, or just to get a little better than I was yesterday.
Absolutely, man. And I know we're getting on in time. I think just to dive into that scaling part, look for more of that coming. We want to try to paint the picture as best we can without having a physical gym or group class to just show you. But we're definitely going to bring as much info to give you as much knowledge ahead of time to know what to expect inside of a class, again, in some future episodes. But I just wanted to end with this. anything else that we're missing in the Instagram, Facebook stuff that we've got coming up, what we're posting so far. I will say this as we get in, as you're thinking of that, is, you know, Instagram so far has been a place to kind of share some new things that's coming out. We'll get the workouts. They're built around the 1 minute timeline videos for Instagram. So you'll have those on there, have those on Facebook. In the future will be something that we'll use a whole lot to show you what's going on a day-to-day inside the space. And then Facebook, for some of our more longer content, there'll be dual shares on some of that stuff. Mm-hmm. But anything else they need to know about
the YouTube? The YouTube channel, getting that going. Again, if we get any lengthier on some stuff, there may be a small clip that points you to a YouTube video that you can reach out and check, and subscribe on the YouTube channel and kind of get your alerts if anything's popping up. Anytime we're doing videos about the space, once we get into the space and start finishing that out, we may do some longer type things like vlog type posts on the YouTube channel. Keep eyes out for that. We're just trying to keep everybody up to date and also just bring as much content as possible to the community about what we are doing, and it kind of about what our goals are and how we're trying to improve. But kind of to recap on the scaling thing, just keep your eyes open and ask tons of questions. Yep. If you got questions you don't know, just reach out to us, ask questions. We're here for you. Both been doing it, and we can definitely get you a scaling option no matter your adaptation or what you're looking for on that.
Yeah, that's very cool. So just important dates. I know we're super, super close. Just important dates coming up. January 20th, we'll have what class offerings, including pricing and stuff like that, available for the audience. We'll make sure to share that out. So again, January 20th, the class schedule and pricing will all be available for you on just about every platform that we've got. Websites being worked on right now as far as the build out, and with as much feedback as we're getting so far, I wouldn't even know if we have to look at maybe going for like early signups and stuff and getting people go ahead and get those filled, for the space that we have. So just want to say thanks again for all the feedback. It's been amazing so far to see that. Almost reaffirming, we go into this with some blind faith at some point, but reaffirming to see that, man, it's really something that people in and around this community of downtown Clinton that really, really want to see come to the space. So I want to thank, the business owners out there that are pushing it. Tristan mentioned the folks that are sharing it, not just for the shares. I mean, that's helpful, but we know that doing something like that, you're sharing it with your own group of friends, and that means a lot to us. That people want to see those new businesses and fitness and nutrition come to the community. So just want to say thanks to everyone. Anything else before we end?
We're right on it. Good. Love it.
Thanks. We'll talk to you next time.